Right then, welcome back to Transfer Review. Stephen Howson, outside Old Trafford, and here to talk about what's going on. I tried to go to Hooters, and this is all they've given us, so sorry. I know you wanted Hooters, I wanted Hooters, you wanted Hooters, but instead of Hooters, we've got... I'll tell you what we've got Ruud van Nistelrooy. It's alright, isn't it? Is that better than Hooters? It's better than Hooters, isn't it? Anyway, right, who are we talking about today? Let's talk about transfers, shall we? Now, I know there's some journalists here, so let's grab one and find out what's going on. Jamie, we signing anyone or what?
Never again.
We're not going to sign anyone ever again?
Never again, that's it.
Okay. All right, so apart from Jamie pissing on everyone's chips, let's see how this is going then. So, Antonio Silva, and that's in Ojogo and the Metro. Not if any of them. Anyone here for the Metro? Anyway, so United are apparently plotting a move for Benfica defender Antonio Silva as frustration grows in their bid to land Matthijs de Ligt this summer. Right, let me just stop this here for a second, because Antonio Silva is valued at approximately 84.3 millions, right, which is about 100 million euros, give or take, right? So explain to me why we would be all in for a very, very young defender, when we've just bought a very, very young defender, for 100 million, when the only drama with Matthijs de Ligt is a couple of million quid. And I'll put it to you, dear viewer, that doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever, does it? At all. Now, I know Ojogo, they're an outlet that likes to just throw Manchester United names into all sorts, and I think that's what they've done here. I don't think United are in for Antonio Silva. Look at the sources. The Metro. Anyone? You? Metro? None of these are Metro. None of these want to put their hand up to say, yeah, I'm Metro. Of course they don't. Antonio Silva United, 0 out of 10. 0. Humland. What's the outlet, Steve? It's the fucking Metro again, man. Who's done these notes? Humland for 67.5 million in the Metro. Should we just watch training? Oi! Move the fuck out of the way. Trying to look at Ruud. Humland, it's not fucking happening, is it? Not for 60. Oh, hang on, what have we missed there? Panto crowds suggest something just happened, and I missed it because I'm talking to you lot. Anyway, so Humland, it's not fucking happening, is it? Now, let's fast forward it a little bit to one that might actually be happening, because that's what we're here for, innit? Is the ones that might be happening. That's what you're here for, that's what I'm here for, and we want to start creeping this up. Now, last week, if we was talking about Mazraoui, I'd have been like, yeah, I like the idea of it. And then it sort of emerged, innit? Wan-Bissaka, blah, blah, blah. Mazraoui's going to West Ham, and you think, oh, that's all sewn up, they've agreed deal, this, that, and the other. But then, like, out of nowhere, like a proper just, like, dunker, has just come in and said, actually, West Ham won't pay the agents' fees, and United are now in advanced talks to sort Mazraoui out. But wait, there's more. What's the more, Steve? It's like an M. Night Shyamalan film, this. With Mazraoui, basically, United have got to just sort of offload Wan-Bissaka. I'll be honest, it looks like he's getting quite stuck into it over there, so I don't know if... he don't look like he's going today. So that being said, where's Wan-Bissaka going? Now, could he go to West Ham? Because that was the initial conversation was Wan-Bissaka West Ham, then it was Mazraoui West Ham, and now it's not Mazraoui West Ham, and it's Wan-Bissaka to Inter. How loud's that helicopter? Fucking hell. So you're like, right, well, is there a possibility that we might see knob? What if Wan-Bissaka to West Ham's back on the table as a possibility? Now, that sucks for West Ham, doesn't it? West Ham thinking they're getting Mazraoui. They've, like, started on the socials and shit. They've got graphic designers all, like, photoshopping his head onto West Ham shirts and bubbles and shit. And then United come and go, I tell you what, forget about Mazraoui. How about you have Wan-Bissaka and we get Mazraoui? I don't know why, because even though that makes a load of sense, it feels... If you're West Ham, you're not happy with that, are you? Why have we got their cast off so they can buy the player that we want? That makes no fucking sense. Now, if they pull that off, I'd be very happy. I don't know if they'll pull that off. Does it sound like something we could pull off? I don't know. Aaron. Yeah, he's busy. So Mazraoui. Nah, there's not a lot in it nowadays. 3 out of 10. Right, that was the ins. This is the outs. And like Jamie Jackson said, we're not really signing anyone, so what do we just stand here and lie to you? I'm not the Sun. Anyways, Wan-Bissaka. Now, there was talk, like we just said, West Ham. There has been talk of Inter. There was also a talk of a little bit of a swapsy-footsy thing with Denzel Dumfries. Listen, my thoughts on that, I didn't mind it. And obviously, Dumfries ticks all of the Ten Hag things, doesn't it, like Dutch and that. So, dead easy to wriggle that one out. It just doesn't feel plausible. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel like that's got too many legs in it. I actually thought when I first heard Wan-Bissaka at West Ham, I was like, that feels like a transfer that's going to happen, doesn't it? Dumfries to United and Wan-Bissaka to West Ham, that doesn't feel like a deal that's getting done at any time soon. So what I would say is Wan-Bissaka to leave, I feel like that's quite plausible because he's not keen on signing a new deal. He's only got 12 months to go. It makes sense to move him on this summer, get a fee for him, and reinvest that into the squad rather than watch him go for free next season. So I would say Wan-Bissaka to go feels like a 6 out of 10. I have no idea where he's going though. Somewhere between West Ham and Inter, which is probably quite a broad spectrum, right? Scotty McTominay. Right, Fulham have bid 17 million and United have gone, you're taking a fucking piss. And politely told them to go fuck themselves. 17 million for Scott McTominay honestly is a joke. Now I think you couldn't replace what Scott McTominay does in the squad. By the sound of that, Rouge just got his chopper out. That can only be what's happened, I think. Fucking missed it. Right, so Scott McTominay, if I said to you, go and buy me one of the most dynamic midfielders you can buy. Listen, he's not amazing on the ball. I'm not saying he is, but he's got this weird knack of scoring pretty big goals. And he's a full international, regular, plays well for his country, and shows up in big games. And I give you 17 million, you'd be like, cool, is this the deposit? Where's the rest of the cash? Especially when you see Emile Smith-Rowe going for 35 million to bleed in Fulham. So, how does that make sense? How is Emile Smith-Rowe worth double? This is a seriously established Premier League player, probably not on mental wages. Why is he only going for 17 million? I think 17 million is an absolute tragedy. It's got to be 30 upwards for me. Now, it probably won't be, but that's where it's got to be. It's got to be in that kind of ballpark for me for Scott McTominay. And if it's not, I think we're having our pants pulled down. I get the 100% profit idea of it, and I get if he's not in the plans and you want to move him on to bring somebody else in, I get that, but we're getting mugged off here in a big way, aren't we? If we're supposedly turned a corner with a new executive football team that can actually negotiate deals, you're like, feels like Manchester United would go to Domino's on a Tuesday and pay full price. So Scott McTominay, do I see him leaving? I do see him leaving, but not at that price. I get it's another 6 out of 10, I think. Right, Jadon Sancho. Is he over there? I ain't seen him, actually. Right, Jadon Sancho, PSG. Chris Wheeler wrote it, and he said he could go. But that's like saying, we could have a beer tonight. We could. Or we could not. Sorry. That's not really telling us anything, is it? Now, that's the only person that's mentioned that, and that's the only time we've heard about it. So, as much as it does actually add up and it makes sense, I just don't think there's any substance to it at the moment, so I can't give it any more than a 2 out of 10 as a possibility, rather than a likely that it's going to happen. Anyway, I can only apologise that we're not outside of Hooters and we're not outside Old Trafford, because this is the worst backdrop we've ever done it. I've done this in a bathroom before. This is unacceptable. We'll do better. Next week we'll do better, I promise. See you in a bit.